Hello and welcome to the Camp Hike Roam channel. I am out boondocking in the National Forest, my favorite place to go, and it's a 3-day weekend. So I need to clean up on one of these days, and you're probably wondering, I've seen your view video and there is no shower or bathroom inside here, so how do you clean up on one of the extended weekends? Well, we're going to go over that today. And I have laid out here all the things that I use when I take a shower. First thing I have is this little pop-up shower tent here. We'll go over some of these things in more detail later. I have a solar shower bag. This one is a 3-gallon. They do make a 5-gallon version. I have a lantern stand, and to hold up the bag if I need to, and we'll go over this in more detail. I have a stool. I normally use it when I'm putting up my awning, but I also use it so I have something to put my things on and something to sit on after I'm done with my shower, so I can wipe off my feet. Water, essential for a shower. This I've labeled shower water. It's tap water from my house. I can definitely drink it if I need to, but I bring it specifically just for taking a shower. I do have some water available on board on my trailer. It's got a 10-gallon tank, but I like to reserve that for hand washing, dishes, or any other types of things like that. I have this mat. I don't remember where I got it, but I put this on the ground for me to stand on while I'm in the shower. And when I get out of the shower, I have this other smaller one I can stand on so my feet don't get dirty in the mud. Of course, you need some soap. Towel is good. The string and an S-hook. To hang this bag, because it does not have a hook of its own, I use these depending on the situation, and we'll go over these different situations. And tie downs. If it's windy, you're going to want to tie down your tent. And the little stakes that come with those tent are pretty much useless. So do yourself a favor and buy yourself a set of these good ones at Walmart. They're like $1 each. So great investment. So we're going to go over some of these other things in detail. First thing I wanted to cover is the shower tent. This one, Wolfwise, I just did an Amazon search and this found it had good reviews, so I got it. Yeah, nowhere near affiliated with it. I don't need to show the tag. This is just what I got. I've had this for about 5 years or so. Don't even know if they sell them anymore. So it comes with the pop-up shower, and it's spring-loaded to say, and it will set itself up. We'll do that in a minute. Comes with a floor mat, so you put it down on the ground, so you do have something to stand on, so you're not getting into a muddy mess. It also has this little roof piece that goes off the top, because the top is all mesh. I don't normally put this on because I like the mesh top. It's nice. Inside the bag, there are instructions in the hold of how to fold it back up. Very important, because it does take practice to learn how to fold this thing back up and get it in there, because like I said, spring loaded, and it can be difficult. It did come with a little instruction booklet, and like I said, it came with these chintzy little stakes that my recommendation is just throw them away. I keep them in here just in case. If I'm in a place where soft ground, you can still use them, but here in Arizona, the ground is so hard, these will bend the first time you try to put them in the ground. So there is that. See if we can get it set up here. It's just like that. It's upside down. And you have to unfold it, which is this way, and unfold it again. There we go. Now, a couple of things. This is where your shower goes in. It is not open at the top at all. Let's see if I can get it down here. And of course it folds up. So it's a mesh on the top. There's no hole in the top at all, so no bugs will get in. But that also means you can't put the shower hose in through here. So it's got to go in through this hole. There is another hole on the other side, which I guess you can reach out and get stuff. I tied this little string on here. It's a piece of paracord, so I can hang my towel or my shorts or whatever on here. So I just reach out, grab them. That's good. On this side is the door. It's you can roll it up and not use it if you don't need to. It zips all the way around, so it closes you up. On the other side, there's nothing. It does have little stops here in the corner if you really need to tie it down, but if the wind's blowing that hard, good luck. On the corners, at the bottom on the feet, there are tie downs for the tent stakes. So you put tent stakes in the ground, and that's usually sufficient to keep it steady. Like I said, I don't normally put the top on it because there's a mesh, and nobody's going to see me from the top. So now we'll talk about the solar shower bag. And now the solar shower bag is also the same ages. Got this about 5 years ago. It was for a group trip we went on for camping, and we needed a way to take showers because there was no shower available. There was water and a bathroom, but no shower. So this was my solution. This is the 3-gallon one, and it's summer shower. I'm sure there are other brands. Just what I found had good reviews on Amazon. It comes with this little, in this pouch here, there's a mirror, which I've never used, honestly. My only complaint about it, number one, is the cap. There's this little plastic string that's supposed to keep the cap attached to here. Well, that broke off a few years ago. So instead of worrying about it, when I'm not using it, I put the cap in the pocket and it stays there. So when I need it, I just screw the cap on. It does have this carry handle, and you could hang this handle in a tree, but I also have that S-hook and the piece of string, which we'll discuss later about where to hang these things, where you can hang it too. So those come in very handy. The shower hose itself comes out of the bottom, and it has you pull it and it comes on, you push it back and it turns off. So you do have to be careful with this because sometimes it's very easy to open and all your water comes out. You only got like 3 gallons, and I normally don't even fill this up. I use half, so it's 1.5 gallons that I take my shower with. The other side of the bag, there is a little thermometer on here, and it's heated by solar. So you can put your water in here, put it on the ground, so the sun will heat it up. It works great if you've got a couple of hours to wait for this thing to warm up. It does take a while, and this thing will go to, well, I can't see. The Fahrenheit's, it's got these other numbers on it, but the Fahrenheit's will kind of light up as it gets hotter. So, and it'll get scorching. You don't want to go anywhere past, at least for me, it's about 110 degrees is a really nice hot shower. Anything past that, which is not very far up the scale, yeah, you'll burn yourself. So, if you don't have time to set this up out in the shower, my suggestion, and what I do most of the time, is I'll fill this with 1 gallon of water. The other 1/2 gallon I'll heat up on the stove till it's good and warm. Doesn't need to be boiling, you don't want it that hot. And I'll just pour it in here till it gets to the right temperature that I want, and then I can just go take my shower. So I don't have to fiddle with letting this thing sit out all day and make sure that it's in the sun. If there's trees and the shade goes by, then it cools off, and so it's kind of, it can be a pain. All right, so next we'll talk about the stand. It's over there. This next piece of equipment that I have is this lantern stand. Now, this is important for my setup because sometimes I go camping in the desert. There aren't any trees around to hang that shower bag in, or there may not be suitable trees for you to hang it in. I've camped in parking lots where there are no trees. So I have this that I can set up and hang that bag on. It's not incredibly tall, and it's not incredibly strong. Got to make sure when you spread the legs to not spread it out so far. And then these go up. And then this will go up. That's still too tall, you can't see. So what I do is there's this little hook on the end, and I hang the bag off of that hook. So, and it can't be very far away from this because it is not stable at all. So you can also tether that to the ground with a few tent stakes if you need to. So now we're going to go and talk about placement, where you set it up, and the different options that we have now that we have all this equipment. Oh, by the way, this stand, I got this in a sporting goods store. I'm not even sure if they sell these anymore, but I have two of them. I typically have 3 options to pick from when I'm setting up my shower and choosing location. The first one is I hang it in a tree, which I'm in the forest. That's probably what I'll do this time. My second one is hanging it from that lantern stand. This third one that I'll talk about is I hang it from my trailer, the side of my trailer. That little hook right up there, I'll hang this from. In order to do that, that's what the string is for. So I'll put the string around it because this S-hook is too thick to go up there. Put the S-hook on there and the bag on there. But that also means this is hanging pretty darn low. And so you got to crouch down, take a shower. I generally don't use this option because I don't want a puddle of water right next to my trailer to attract insects, bugs, and animals, that kind of thing. Also makes a little mess right here. And we don't want that. I had to use this on a few occasions where I'm camped in Death Valley and the campground was literally a dirt parking lot. And the only place I was right there. So I set up my shower tent right here next to it, and I did that because I only had so much space to work with. So not an ideal situation, but it works. So let's go do one of the other options. My next option is to use the lantern stand. As you can see, this is probably about the same height, maybe a little taller than that other option. But this one, I can set up the lantern stand. That's as high as it goes. And I can put the S-hook right in there. But with the lantern stand, like I said, you got to be careful because if you pull the hose also doesn't come very high. If you pull the hose, the stand will easily fall over. And that's when you want to put some tent stakes in the bottom and stake it to the ground if you needed to. I'm also on an incline, so this is going downhill. It doesn't help much. If you're on a flat area, it's a little better, but normally you can't bring this hose too far away from the bag or you're going to start losing what little water pressure there is here. And I will demonstrate the water pressure a little later. You still kind of have to bend down and do your thing, but it works. It's an option to get clean. So now we'll do our other option, what I prefer, is hanging in a tree. So let's talk placement and where we should take our shower and set up. I generally avoid the main camp area that's where this is. This is where people typically set up their trailers, where I have, and tents and things like that. This is usually typically all dirt. And what do you get when you mix water and dirt? That's right, mud. Nobody wants to take a shower in mud. So let's go find a different area. Besides, there aren't too many trees here to set up on. So we'll go out behind me here in this area. Lots of trees over there. And there's pine needles for a good kind of a bed that the water will absorb underneath pine needles. And it's offers a little bit of privacy, but we're not too worried about that because we have our shower tent. So let's go find a suitable tree. All right, I believe I've found a suitable area. This tree right here has a branch at a good height. I could easily attach to. This area here on the ground is fairly level. So that means that the shower house isn't going to lean too far one way or another. If you're on a downhill slope, the shower house is going to lean to one side, which means then you got to pull the shower bag in farther and it'll all fall down and not a good time. So it's flat. I am going to have to get some sticks and things out of the way, maybe a few rocks, but we'll get set up and we'll show you what it looks like. All right, I am all set up and ready for a shower here. I've got my bag hung up in the tree. I did have to use the string. The S-hook wouldn't quite fit over the tree branch. So see if we get a picture of it there, maybe. If not, it wouldn't quite fit over the tree branch. So I had to put the string around the branch and then the S-hook and then the bag. So I got the bag inside the hole here. I've got my towel at the ready. You can also hang your short shirts and stuff here so they don't get wet. Out front, I have the stool and my other little thing to stand on there so I don't get too dirty coming out. On the inside, we've got my little, I don't want to say little, it's a fairly large mat, a good place to stand. So you shouldn't get too muddy when you're going. And all the zippers are on the inside, so you got no worries about somebody unzipping it from the outside. So we're good. And there we go, a lovely shower. Now I've got my water all nice and hot here on the stove, and I'm sure you're wondering, how do I get this hot water into this hole without burning yourself? So that's where one of your 10 stakes comes in handy. Put it in, turn it, and then you start pouring water in. You gotta go pretty slow because this spout doesn't let a whole lot of water in. I do already have a gallon of water, cool water, inside here. Cool as in, well, it's been sitting out in the sun, but it's still like room temperature water. It's not ice cold. So pour your hot water in. Not exactly a precise thing. If it ends up getting too hot, put more cold water in. There you go. Oh, that's nice. It might be even too warm, actually. So let's check the gauge on the back. Mix it up some. Our gauge, oops, doesn't record anything yet. It's got to think about it. So let's see, it's up to 98. There's the 104. Is it going to hit 110? 104 still good too. So let's see if I get that closer. You can see the gauge there. Whatever's in the blue is what the temperature of the water is. And it looks like around 104, maybe a little higher than that. So that is great shower water. Nice and warm, not hot. We're not out here for a luxurious 20-minute shower. We're out here for a quick, let's get clean and move on with our day, because when you're camping, there's always stuff to do. So let's go. All right, so without the shower tent in the way, it's on there on the ground. I wanted to give you a little idea of what the water flow is going to be like. It's not the best, not the worst. Don't want to waste all my water. So I've only got a gallon and a half. So the idea here is you take a military shower is, stop leaking, is you rinse, you get water on yourself, you rinse yourself, turn it off by pushing it in, lather yourself up, and you rinse off. Again, get all the soap off. And a gallon and a half is about what I usually use. And if you do this method and you're quick, you can get it done. But there's nothing saying you can't fill this all the way up with 3 gallons of water and do it that way. So it all depends on your liking and how good of a shower you want to have. So there we go. We'll just get everything set back up again. All right, there we are. We're ready for a nice shower. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to go get clean. But make sure that you give me a like and subscribe. Thumbs up would be great. And as always, happy camping, happy hiking, and happy roaming. Keep it clean. I took my shower and it was very nice. And I wanted to give you a couple of post-shower observances that I thought of. Do you have to set up a shower tent if you're out boondocking in the national forest and there's nobody around? I'll give you 3 reasons why you should, yes. Number 1 is you never know when a forest ranger may show up, come into your campsite, somebody comes in to turn around or whatever. So that's reason 1. Reason 2, bugs. You'll probably want to keep bugs out from there because right now there's a lot of little flying bugs around and you don't want to be bothered with those while you're taking a shower. Number three is probably the most important, is there's wind. If you've ever gotten out of a pool on a windy day, you know what I'm talking about. And that's the entire length of your shower. So with this, it keeps the wind off you, and it makes for a much more pleasant experience. It traps the heat inside and makes it very warm. So it's much more pleasant with the shower house than without it. So that's my thumbs up there.